Tonight, case counts spike.
What I also really worry about is the capacity of the healthcare system.
How many measles cases the province is grappling with as health officials warn of increasing spread. Also tonight, roses, chocolates, and dollar signs.
I'm cooking at home. I'm not taking her out to a restaurant.
How many Manitobans are opting for cheaper Valentine's Day plans this year? Plus.
And hey ho, Manitoba, Festival du Voyageur is officially here. We'll take you into Whittier Park right away.
CTV News. Live from downtown Winnipeg with Marilee Caruso.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Hendricks. Marilee is away. The number of measles cases are growing in Manitoba and could go even higher. There was a record count of 75 confirmed cases last month, and this month has already seen 44. This after the province announced exposures at the Ag Days event in Brandon and now a Winnipeg Jets game. CTV's Jeff Keel joins us now live. So Jeff, what do we know about this Jets game?
It was the home game from February 4th against the Montreal Canadiens. Anyone who was in the 300 level seats or concourse is being asked to monitor for symptoms. More measles cases are expected, stemming from exposures at large public events.
I don't think we should be surprised. We know that the rates of childhood immunizations have gone down.
Since the measles outbreak began, Manitoba recorded 319 confirmed cases in 2025. Already in 2026, the number is 119. And those numbers could increase. The province says there are 30 measles cases and counting from Brandon's Ag Days last month, prompting a warning from Northwestern Health in Ontario about cases spreading over the border.
Events like this that bring together a lot of people, we have to be aware that the risk of transmission is quite high in these areas.
Ag Days isn't the only big gathering impacted. The province has also listed the February 4th home game between the Winnipeg Jets and the Montreal Canadiens as an exposure site. Anyone in the 300 level or concourse is asked to monitor for symptoms. In a statement, True North says, "We have been in communication with Manitoba Public Health and are relying on their expertise and protocols to provide the necessary public guidance to all Manitobans." Health officials say vaccination rates are low in portions of southern Manitoba, where there is ongoing widespread transmission in those communities. So the province is expanding vaccine eligibility in the Prairie Mountain region for infants 6 months to 1 year old.
Those children under a year but over 6 months, we really want to encourage them to get that early dose of vaccine to protect them.
Doctors Manitoba worries about the strain this could have on the healthcare system, in particular in smaller rural hospitals.
We are already overstretched and that there are long wait times and that people are feeling frustrated when they aren't able to access care when they need it.
The latest numbers from the province also show over the last year, 24 people have been hospitalized, with 2 of those admitted to the intensive care unit.
So Jeff, is the province looking at putting measures in place to limit access at health facilities like Manitoba did during the COVID-19 pandemic?
No. Dr. Brent Roussin was asked that question. He says they don't plan on doing that. He says the vaccine is an effective way to control measles.
All right, thank you, Jeff. A sigh of relief in Gimli tonight. Ontario Premier Doug Ford says the Crown Royal will remain on liquor store shelves in his province. The Premier says the parent company of Crown Royal, Diageo, has agreed to spend $23 million in the province. That includes money for packaging, marketing and promotion, and neutral spirits from Eastern Ontario. For months, Ford was threatening to pull the product after Diageo announced it was closing a Windsor area bottling plant. In recent weeks, the Premier has softened his tone, urging the company to support Ontario jobs in other ways. Meanwhile, Manitoba's Premier welcomed the news and said the Crown Royal facility in Gimli appears secure.
And we had talked when we were in Gimli about the investments that Diageo is making. So, you know, there's a big transmission line coming in, new investments in the warehouse. So that all signals a long-term presence in Manitoba and good jobs for people in Gimli and the region.
There's still no word if the agreement prevents the closure of Diageo's Crown Royal bottling plant in Amherstburg, Ontario, which would put 200 people out of work at the end of the month. A judge has reserved their decision in an animal welfare case involving a Swan River horse exporter. Animal rights group Animal Justice alleges Carlisle Farms failed to properly plan for delays following a 2022 shipment of nearly 80 horses to Japan for slaughter. Court heard the flight allegedly exceeded the legal transport time limit without food, water, or rest. The defense argues responsibility for a contingency plan rested with the airline or receiver and not entirely on the exporter. A date for the decision has not yet been finalized. Is the rising cost of living getting in the way of your Valentine's Day plans? A recent survey suggests Manitobans are opting to stay in rather than break the bank this year. CTV's Danton Unger reports.
Of course, you got to get the roses on Valentine's Day.
Love is in the air, but for some Winnipeggers, it's getting a bit expensive.
We could have went out, but we just wanted to watch a movie at home. It's a lot cheaper and easier.
I'm cooking at home. I'm not taking her out to a restaurant.
These shoppers aren't alone. A recent Ledger opinion survey from TD Bank suggests nearly 2 in 5 residents in Manitoba and Saskatchewan are opting for less expensive dates, while 22% are going on fewer dates altogether due to economic conditions.
Everything's expensive now. That's just the unfortunate reality we are living in.
Asper School of Business Associate Professor Divya Ramachandra says this may just push people to be more creative.
Do something together that may not really cost big bucks, but could be a memory that you cherish for the rest of your life.
It's not just shoppers feeling the pinch. At Morton's of Winnipeg, Valentine's Day is the busiest day of the year.
Enjoy, have a great day.
But owner Fred Morton says this year, prices are a bit higher.
Cocoa prices skyrocketed about 400%, which created a huge question mark on the whole industry. So we had to bump our prices.
Morton says he expects some relief in chocolate prices come Easter, but for now, he's thankful for the shoppers who have stuck with them.
It's been great because we have a very well-heeled customer base.
Meanwhile, these Winnipeggers are looking forward to a Valentine's Day without breaking the bank.
Like just staying at home and not spending as much money as like we were to just spend on like one meal.
I have some steak. That's why I got my Parmesan cheese here, because otherwise going out for dinner is pretty expensive for sure.
Danton Unger, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Fiddle music will be ringing out through St. Boniface tonight and in the week to come. Festival de Voyageur is now officially underway at Whittier Park. And that is where we find CTV's Daniel Halmerson standing by live this evening. So, Daniel, what's the mood like over there?
It's growing here, John. You just mentioned the sound of fiddle music in the air. Right now I smell the fires. I smell mini donuts, maple taffy. It's really cool seeing this park come alive every night here for the next couple of weeks now. It is opening night. The official opening ceremonies are happening around 6:30, and then, of course, heading into all these different tents for a variety of music, English, French, you name it. They have it happening over the next couple of weeks here, and people are excited, drinks in hand, and it's quite mild as we mentioned earlier as well, and we expect those temperatures throughout the weekend, so great time to come down. The ground luckily isn't too slushy, but the spirits are obviously high. Now coming up just before 6:30, we're going to talk to Festival's executive director about some of the new things happening this year and what people should know before they come down to celebrate the joie de vivre here at Festival de Voyageur, Jean.
All right, thanks so much, Daniel. CTV weather specialist Colleen Brady joins us now with your first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. Looks like a nice mild night for Festival, but we could have some fog on the way.
I know, it's been on again, off again, hasn't it, all throughout the last few days. No change tonight, and really this weekend we could be seeing fog at different points in time. No fog right now over Winnipeg, but Environment Canada has taken the step of issuing a yellow advisory for fog for much of the south and eastern parts of the province. The expectation is that fog will redevelop tonight across the region. It might not just settle in and stay there. It could improve at times, so just be prepared for that. And if you encounter that fog, it could reduce visibility very quickly and substantially. So I'll have more details on that. And of course, a look ahead at your very mild Louis Riel Day long weekend forecast. All that to come. But first, the CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. In Winnipeg right now, that beautiful sky out there, it's -1 degree. It feels like -5 when you factor in those south-southeast winds at 15 kilometers an hour. The pressure is dropping, and the humidity right now, John, is 84%.
Thanks, Colleen. Winnipeg police have charged a youth after online threats were allegedly directed at a North End elementary school. Police say the threats were made on February 3rd and involve a school on Flora Avenue. Major Crimes Unit investigators were able to identify the youth suspect and arrested them without incident on February 10th. Police didn't find any physical threats at the school and say there's no threat to public safety. The young person, whose age wasn't released, is charged with uttering threats to cause death or bodily harm. They were released on an undertaking. We're learning more tonight that there have been more job cuts here in Manitoba by the federal government. Some staff working at the National Research Council facility on Ellis are the latest casualties. A union advisor says 12 employees who worked in a medical research unit had their positions eliminated. The research center is the latest public service facility to confirm layoffs. The Liberal government says it plans to reduce the size of the federal public service by 28,000 positions by 2029. St. Vital Centre has been sold for just over $160 million. On Thursday, Montreal-based real estate development firm Riel announced it has acquired them all. In a release, the company's president said St. Vital embodies everything they're looking for in a community shopping center. According to the firm, St. Vital Centre sees about 8 million visits a year and encompasses about 1 million square feet of gross leasable space. New supports for female entrepreneurs with disabilities are coming to Manitoba.
I am confident this project will open doors, expand knowledge, and support women with disabilities across Canada in building the futures they choose.
The province announced nearly $800,000 boost for a project led by Eviance. It's called Spotlight on Women Entrepreneurs with Disabilities in Canada. It seeks to promote opportunities and foster inclusivity within the business community.
So Eviance project will conduct vital research to highlight the experiences, the challenges, and successes of women entrepreneurs with disabilities. We have to look at the whole gamut. This research will help us to understand where the gaps are in accessing funding, in support systems, in accessibility, and how we can work together to help in closing those gaps.
Policymakers say that insights gathered through the project will directly inform federal programs and policies and make it easier for those utilizing the services to grow their businesses. Louis Riel Day came early over at the University of Manitoba. Students and staff had a chance to explore Métis culture and history through musical performances, food, storytelling, and other activities. The celebration was centered around the traditional Métis kitchen party, also known as a chivaree.
I hope that we will all be able to make some really strong relationships and friendships and come together, and that they will have a chance to experience Métis history and culture. We have butter churning, there's beading, there's finger weaving, so we have a lot of really great activities for people to participate in and learn about Métis culture.
Organizers say Indigenous and First Nations people have traditionally been underrepresented in post-secondary settings, so it's important to make space and celebrate. Well, now would be a great time to try some ice fishing in Manitoba. This weekend, you can cast a line without a license as part of the province's Winter Family Fishing Weekend. Even better, it won't cost you a dime. The province says this is a great opportunity for families to discover the excitement of ice fishing. While licenses are waived during the 3-day event, all regular possession limits and size restrictions remain in place. And a federal angling license is still required in national parks. Officials are encouraging anglers to check ice conditions before traveling onto the ice, and they say you should wear weather-appropriate clothing. Well, still ahead, we return to Tumbler Ridge, BC, where people are still reeling and in shock from this week's mass shooting.
I can feel the love of the country, community.
This is ahead of a visit from the Prime Minister and questions about the guns used in the mass shooting. That's coming up next. Taking a look at the markets now, crude oil added 5 cents. The Canadian dollar nearly unchanged at 73.45 cents U.S. Gold jumped nearly $98. The TSX rose 608 points. The Dow Jones gained 48, and the Nasdaq lost 50 points. Canadians might see their one-time GST top-up payment as early as this spring. The government's new affordability bill has received royal assent. The benefit was fast-tracked through Parliament with Conservative support. The payment will be for millions of low-income Canadians and will be worth 50% of the GST tax credit. That works out to just over $1,800 for a family of 4. After that, the annual benefit will work out to about $1,400 a year for the next 4 years. The small community of Tumbler Ridge is deeply shaken by the events of this week, and the effects of this tragedy will last long after the politicians have gone. In a place where everyone has ties to everyone else, healing will involve every single person who calls Tumbler Ridge home. CTV's Kathy Lee has been speaking to members of the community.
Despite the devastation, there is compassion and care from everyone I've spoken to. It's a testament to how close everyone is in Tumbler Ridge. Amber Bell's love language is cooking. In the depths of profound grief, she is still making sure her community is fed.
My daughter and my husband and I went around to every single house last night and brought food.
The nourishment for those navigating a nightmare after 8 people, mostly children, were shot at the secondary school and this home in Tumbler Ridge. Bell's 2 children were in class at that time. They are safe, but her heart aches for the young ones that didn't make it out, all of whom she knew personally.
They were all so amazing in their own right, but for us personally, the loss of Kylie is devastating. She was a part of our family too. We've known her whole life.
But even in her despair, the mother is buoyed by the support.
I feel the support. I can feel the love of the country, community.
In a community where everyone knows each other by name, the love is felt at every corner.
I've only been here 5 years, and I haven't lost that, but you know what? They're my kids too. They're my kids too.
This town has been through other difficult times, like a wildfire in the past, and they say they were resilient and overcame that, and will do the same this time by leaning on one another, as they always do. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Tumbler Ridge, BC.
The FBI says they're looking for a man with average build and average height in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. The description comes after an analysis of images from the doorbell camera. And as Jacqueline Lee shows you, the FBI has also doubled the reward for information in this case.
Today, investigators in the disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie say they've recovered DNA from several gloves and other pieces of potential evidence in the case. The New York Post capturing these images of at least one of those gloves. The Pima County Sheriff today speaking with ABC's Aaron Katursky.
We've gotten DNA back. Well, they already have the genetic markers of those that we think had access to the home. Now we have to go through and try to eliminate people or make people.
The sheriff saying the potential evidence has been found during an expanded search zone within a 10-mile radius of Guthrie's Tucson home. Investigators planning to return to Guthrie's house to make more measurements from the front doorway where the suspect was seen on this doorbell camera video. Investigators estimating this man is around 5'9" to 5'10" in height with an average build.
It is really about just taking that video and frame by frame and trying to get as much out as we can.
Investigators say the person in that video is wearing a black 25-liter Ozark Trail hiker backpack. ABC News found one at Walmart in Tucson for $11. They're trying to track down where the backpack was purchased. Walmart declining to comment if it is assisting in the investigation. The FBI now increasing its reward to $100,000 for information leading to Guthrie's location or the arrest of anyone involved in her disappearance.
We're not giving up. If Nancy's out there, we're going to find her. We're not giving up.
Sources close to her family and friends tell ABC News there's a growing feeling of intense frustration with the pace of the investigation and the limited amount of information coming from investigators. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
There are reports the U.S. is sending a second aircraft carrier to the Middle East amid tensions with Iran. According to the reports, the aircraft carrier and its escort ships are being sent from the Caribbean. The first aircraft carrier and several guided missile destroyers arrived in the Middle East in January. Donald Trump is said to be considering taking military action against Iran. A day after President Trump reversed a landmark scientific ruling that was key in the fight to lower greenhouse gas emissions, a new study finds that Canada is not on track to meet any of its climate targets. Canada is behind in the 2026 emissions target, the 2030 Paris Agreement, and its goal of reaching net zero by 2050. The Canadian Climate Institute report blames the delays on what it's calling a slackening policy effort.
It means dirtier air, unhealthy air, more use of coal, and it is bad for clean energy. The short-term impacts are bad for short-term human health, but it also is very bad in the long term for the climate.
Yesterday, Donald Trump reversed a landmark scientific ruling. It revoked the government's ability to regulate climate heating pollution, a ruling that is seen as key in the fight to lowering greenhouse gas emissions. Well, French-Canadian culture is on full display tonight. The gates opened for the 57th edition of Festival de Voyageur just a short time ago. Let's check back in with CTV's Daniel Halmerson, who joins us live this evening from Whittier Park. So, Daniel, is it starting to fill up over there right now?
Well, it's a beautiful night here at Festival de Voyageur. The opening ceremonies are happening in just a few seconds, but I'm joined by Brianne Lavallée-Heckard, who's the executive director of Festival. Hey ho!
Hey ho!
Tell us, it's opening night. What should people know about this special night here at Festival?
Yeah, well, we're opening up tonight with, we've got lots of great Francophone acts in Temps de Vie Rouge. So we've got Les G-Strings, LJS, which is a Franco-Ontarian group, and Les Barn Boys, which is a local group coming out of La Broquerie on our main stage. We've also got Zrada, a local folk Ukrainian rock band, which is also really great. And then there's also so much programming going on. We've got Fort Gibraltar's open for exploration, and of course, Maple Taffy.
And if people aren't coming tonight for family-friendly stuff throughout the week, obviously kicking off tomorrow.
Yeah, there's so much great stuff in the park this year for kids. We had a lot of fun playing with snow this year in the playground, and yeah, it's going to be really great to see everyone out enjoying the weather and yeah, enjoying winter.
Anything new this year, Brianne, that really sticks out to you?
Yeah, actually this year we talked a lot about Manitoba freshwater fish species. So in our playground, you'll notice that the whole theme is centered around fish. And there's actually a new fun interactive ice fishing game for kids to discover, so lots of cool stuff.
And walking around, I've already run into so many friends of mine, I'm sure the same for you. Festival's really a big family reunion every year, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's so great to see people who come back year after year, and so many people who, it's an intergenerational festival now where they've been coming with their families and it's with their friends. It's really amazing to see, and it's great to be part of.
Well, thank you so much for having us here. Festival is happening starting tonight all the way till February 22nd. It's been a fun night here. I'm going to head into one of the tents and warm up, John. But big hey-ho to you folks over there at the studio.
I feel so grateful. It feels unbelievable.
Still ahead, Olympics action continues and the Canadians continue to shine.
And Sunday kicks off the long-range forecast for Winnipeg. Cloudy, very mild, +2. Louis Riel day a lot brighter. Lots of sunshine, a high of -3 degrees, well above normal for this time of year. -5, -6 through the midweek. Tuesday, cloudy, -5. Snow looks likely on Wednesday, -6 degrees. Drier, still cloudy on Thursday with another high near -5.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Another decisive win for the Canadian men's hockey team. After beating Czechia 5-0 yesterday, Team Canada beat Switzerland this afternoon. Now here's Scott Hurst with a look at how the rest of Team Canada fared.
Courtney Saroux proudly displays both her medals from Milano Cortina.
I feel so grateful. It feels unbelievable.
The 25-year-old from Moncton, New Brunswick, is Canada's first double medalist at these Olympic Games. She won silver earlier in the week alongside her teammates in the mixed relay event and bronze in the women's short track 500 meter.
I didn't want to leave the ice with any regrets, so I just went for it and gave everything, and it got me some extra bling.
And she has a shot at even more medals to come in the Olympic competition. Staying on the ice, a busy day for the men's curling team led by Brad Jacobs. They're the oldest group in the men's curling competition and used every bit of age and experience in a 6-3 win over the Americans, who are the youngest squad in the competition. Team Canada also beat Sweden today. The Canadian rink is now 3-0. On the women's side, a stunning upset for the top-ranked Canadians. Rachel Homan's squad lost to the Americans 9-8. With the loss, Team Canada is now 1-1 in the preliminary round. Their next game is tomorrow against Great Britain. Mark McMorris has been cleared for competition after a nasty crash that kept him out of the Big Air event last weekend. The three-time defending Olympic bronze medalist in men's snowboard slopestyle will now get a chance at another podium. Slopestyle qualification begins on Monday. The women's hockey team is back in action on Saturday, now into the knockout round. The reigning Olympic champions will play Germany in the quarterfinals. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
CTV weather specialist Colleen Brady has your complete Skywatch weather forecast in. Based on Daniel at Festival de Voyageur, it looks very warm out there.
Yeah, I think he's doing just fine out there. Thank you very much. And anyone who goes to Festival, the conditions are fantastic. These temperatures are going to last all throughout this long weekend. So that's the good news there. On the flip side, we are contending with fog. Now, we do have this very stagnant air mass over the province. It has a lot of moisture in it. And also the sun is starting to strengthen, and it's starting to tap into that snowpack and add a little bit more moisture into the air. You put that all together with skies that are fairly clear and light winds, you have all the makings for fog. So that is why Environment Canada has issued a yellow fog advisory for most of southern Manitoba. Swan River is not under the advisory, but areas further south are, and then right across the south up into eastern parts of the province as well. There is the expectation of fog developing this evening in areas overnight as well, and potentially well into Saturday. Next door, northwestern Ontario, there had been a fog advisory there earlier today. It is not in effect right now, but there is fog expected to develop over this region tonight as well. Similar conditions as we're seeing here in southern Manitoba. Meanwhile, further north, a little bit of light snow passed through Thompson in the 4 o'clock hour. There is still the possibility of a few more flurries coming through that area yet this evening. Meanwhile, the snow continues in Churchill, and really it's this band from Brochet through to Dooley Lake and over into the Churchill area that will see a little bit of light snow tonight, down into Gillam as well. Later on in the evening, you can see really starts to pick up a little bit further south around places like Gillam. Meanwhile, down here in the south, not a lot happens. Again, with those conditions I just outlined, we could well see fog developing in the overnight hours across the south and into Saturday morning. We'll start to see the cloud build up throughout the day on Saturday, but it will still be very mild here in southern Manitoba and in northwestern Ontario. In northern Manitoba as well, we had some exceptionally mild temperatures there today. Look for that to continue into tomorrow. I'll have those forecast figures for you in just a moment. Overnight, we go into Sunday. Perhaps a little bit of precipitation will cross southern Manitoba. Not a lot, a little bit more through central parts of the province, and scattered snow across the north as we make our way throughout the day on Sunday. For today for Winnipeg, we drop down to -8 degrees. Now, for some context, the normal high for this time of year is around -8 for Winnipeg. Partly cloudy, but again, likely to see fog developing. Winds out of the south at 15 kilometers an hour. Fog is possible tomorrow morning. That's the best chance for the most sunshine otherwise during the day. -9. The rest of the day likely to be quite cloudy. A high of -2 degrees. Winds light out of the northwest at 10 kilometers an hour. There's that snow tonight for Churchill and Gillam. Down to -10 for Gillam tonight, and then your temperature falls to -13 tomorrow. That's why you see the asterisk. More light snow there. Flurries expected tonight for Thompson and tomorrow as well. Some light flurries for Lynn Lake and Norway House. Down to -13 for Lynn Lake. Flin Flon and the Paw, partly cloudy tonight, mix of sun and cloud in those areas. But look at these temperatures, -1, -2 for much of the northwest. In the southwest tonight, fairly clear for Swan River down to -11, but look for fog through Dauphin, Neepawa down into the Brandon area. Brandon dropping to -11 tonight. A mix of sun and cloud there, and -1, +1 for Dauphin tomorrow under a mix of sun and cloud. Winnipeg in the southeast, fog expected, overnight lows around -8 for most regions, including Winnipeg. Mix of sun and cloud at least in the morning, a little cloudier in the city tomorrow with those highs hovering right around freezing above and below. Fog expected tonight in northwestern Ontario, -7, -8 overnight, and then fog lasting until around midday before it should start to lift there with highs right around freezing as well. Our first weather photo not too far away. This is Jim took this photo early this morning. He was out doing some snowmobiling out on the trails at Bird Lake in Nopaming Provincial Park. And get this, this is Sandy's view from her front door in Balmoral. And not too bad at all. Pretty beautiful. That's north of Stonewall. Send us your weather photos to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Thanks, Colleen. They look like homes forgotten by time. You've probably seen them in your travels here in Winnipeg. They're those standalone houses that inexplicably sit between skyscrapers and office buildings and parking lots. They're relics of a different era, offering a window into the past.
Lonely houses are holdouts that help tell the earliest built history of a neighborhood, and they're a great way of showing how the city has transformed over the last 150 years.
They go by many different names, be it stubborn, holdout, or lonely houses. And it turns out our city has quite a few of them, with some fascinating stories behind them. Winnipeg history blogger Christian Cassidy has spent years researching their origins. Now, one of his favorites is Kelly House. Built in 1882, it became wrapped up in a famous Manitoba real estate scandal involving its former owner, construction magnate Thomas Kelly.
There's something called the Manitoba Legislative Building Scandal. And when they started building that, I guess just after the war, just before the war, a lot of money went missing, a lot of supplies went missing, a lot of government officials lined their pockets. And Thomas Kelly was kind of, who headed the construction company, was kind of made the fall guy and was arrested and served time in prison and things like that. And it has been said that that's kind of the reason why that house still stands, because his whole estate was kind of tied up in this legal limbo.
Our CTV digital team is diving into these so-called stubborn houses and the quirky reasons why they're still standing centuries later. You can learn more about the lonely house saved from the wrecking ball by a local architect, or the holdout home that was once the hub of Winnipeg's punk scene in the 80s. That story is coming tomorrow to our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. February is Black History Month, and the Manitoba government is celebrating the rich culture and contributions of Black Manitobans.
Part of the celebration of Black history and Black excellence is just to send a message to the young generation that the road to the top is open. It has been paved by the sacrifice of many who came before us, but now the legacy is happiness, joy, and fulfillment for you. So happy Black History Month to everybody, and I could not be happier than to celebrate it with you.
The ceremony was marked with music, dance, and spoken word. Premier Wab Kinew was joined by City Councillor Marcus Chambers, who was the first Black person elected at any level of government in the province, along with the NDP's two Black cabinet ministers, Uzoma Azaguara and Jamie Moses.
And we know that it's important for us to work together, to understand that that struggle that we face together is something that's rooted in hope. It's something that's rooted in us overcoming. Every struggle is rooted in that hope, that belief that we will overcome it and we will have a better community tomorrow. Better community, better family, better outcomes for our children.
The provincial government also announced more than $1.2 million in funding to support Black-led organizations in Manitoba, and $40,000 in relief funding for families in Jamaica impacted by Hurricane Melissa.
If anything is done, I think it would be sort of clarification on some incidental objects.
Donald Trump may be looking to drop some tariffs on Canadian products. We'll take a look at which ones and why the U.S. president may be considering the move. U.S. media is reporting that Donald Trump might scale back tariffs on steel and aluminum to try to lower prices in the U.S. But as CTV's Joy Malbin reports, that may just be wishful thinking.
Every chance he gets, the U.S. president trumpets his tariffs.
The economy is doing unbelievable. We right now have the hottest country anywhere in the world.
But he's battling the cost of living crisis in America and low approval ratings before the midterm elections. The Financial Times reporting the Trump administration may be having a rethink about those steep steel and aluminum tariffs that could affect Canada.
I don't think it's great reporting that we saw today. If anything is done, I think it would be sort of clarification on some incidental objects, but again, that's going to be the president's decision.
Canadian metals were slapped with a 50% tariff early this year, justified as a national security crisis. Canada retaliated, but this tit-for-tat tariff blitz has led to higher costs for consumers, paying more for groceries, electronics, cans, and cars. The American Nonpartisan Tax Foundation reports that tariffs will cost the average U.S. household $1,300 more in 2026.
There's definitely pressure because it is hitting different markets, and we're seeing that in the auto sector as well. Like Ford's earnings last week were dismal. So it's a situation where tariffs don't always work.
Even if the president is considering rolling back tariffs on steel and aluminum, here's what he posted just 2 days ago. Canada has taken advantage of the United States on trade for many years. They are among the worst in the world to deal with. U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer said there likely won't be a rollback of the tariffs, more of a clarification or possible exemption on certain items like refrigerators and washers. But then again, it's the president's call. Joy Malbin, CTV News, Washington.
A new study shows most dog food contains dangerous levels of heavy metals and other contaminants. According to the nonprofit Clean Label Project, dog food has up to 13 times more heavy metals than human food. Now that's a problem because researchers say all those metals could contribute to higher cancer rates. The worst offender is kibble. The study didn't break down foods by brand, but it did say that fresh and frozen foods contain less metal than dry. 1 in 4 dogs will develop cancer in their lifetime. 2 recent celebrity deaths linked to colorectal cancer have prompted experts to remind the public about the importance of screening for the disease. CTV's Pauline Chan has the details.
Catherine O'Hara and James Vanderbeek had both been diagnosed with colorectal cancer before they died.
It's the 4th common cancer in Canada, and it's the 3rd leading cause of death for both men and women. So these were very famous cases, but this is happening to average people every day.
And more cases recently are being diagnosed in younger people, aged 25 to 49. Vanderbeek was just 48 when he died.
There's a lot of research around this, but nobody really knows why it's increasing in this young age group.
Jen Waterman knows the importance of early detection. She was just 42 when she was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer in 2020.
When I talked about the symptoms, what I was experiencing, I really did think it was stress. Like, it was all in line. That's all I thought it was.
If colorectal cancer is caught early, by that we mean stage 1, it has not spread, the survival rates are 90%. And so we're looking at great statistics for survival. However, if it is caught at a later stage, the survival drops down significantly.
In Canada, screening is covered starting at age 50, but you may need earlier screening if you have symptoms like blood in your stools or a change in bowel habits, or if a close relative had colorectal cancer.
Meaning your mother, your father, or a sibling that has had colon cancer, you should be screened actually 10 years younger than the onset of that family member's disease.
These situations are also covered by OHIP.
I don't have any of the risk factors at all. I mean, not only being young, but there's nothing in my family.
Jen is grateful her doctor took her concerns seriously as soon as she mentioned them, and she says she owes her life to early screening. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Medical Watch is brought to you by Manukin Koster Denture Clinic.
Love is in the air this weekend over at the Centennial Concert Hall. Who's making their WSO debut for a special Valentine's performance next in Spotlight?
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting The Price is Right live.
Valentine's Day weekend provides the perfect backdrop for this upcoming show by the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra. Violinist Kevin Zhu and conductor Robert Moody are making their WSO debuts with 3 works which have love as a central theme. The 2 shows this weekend open with Beethoven's Overture to Fidelio, followed by the 5-movement Serenade by Leonard Bernstein.
Bernstein's Serenade actually was all about love. It's based on a writing by Plato, actually, which explores all the different facets, and basically it's a conversation, an old Greek ancient dinner party in praise of love and all its different forms, and so the music was inspired by this very romantic idea.
Sergei Rachmaninoff's classic 19th century piece Symphony No. 2 wraps up the performance. The show is Saturday evening and Sunday afternoon. Head to WSO.ca for more information and tickets. Bragging rights will be back on the line later this month when the city's emergency services members square off in a charity hockey game. The annual Winnipeg Guns N' Hoses Charity Hockey Challenge returns to Canada Life Centre February 28th. The event pits the city's firefighters and paramedics against police officers. Proceeds from the event are divided between each team's chosen charity with a 60-40 split between the winners and losers. The Fire Paramedic Service is supporting the Never Alone Cancer Foundation, while the police service donates its share to Special Olympics Manitoba. Organizers say you can expect the same kind of fun and excitement as any professional hockey game.
Tickets are only $10. It's the same as any social. In terms of bang for the buck, you're going to come in. It's a full-length hockey game. Like I said, we're going to have giveaways, mascots. The concessions will be open. You can get some refreshments. Enjoy the game. Bring your families. Bring your teams. If you
get to interact with the police and the firefighters while they're there. So it's a nice time to see what they're all about and have conversations.
50/50 ticket sales also support Project 11, a youth mental wellness organization. Last year, the event raised more than $40,000 and ended in a 7-4 win for the fire paramedics. Tickets are available through Ticketmaster. Well, here is a look at just some of the events taking place in Manitoba this weekend. Winnipeg Beach celebrates its wonderful winter weekend. The Mennonite Heritage Village has its winter carnival. Multicultural Winterfest is on in Morden. There's also a winter festival at the Flats in Neepawa and winter carnival at Winkler Bible Camp. Enjoy a fun weekend with Shalico Farms at Brandon's Keystone Center. The Winterpeg Mobile Ski Library will be bringing its equipment to the Living Prayer Museum on Saturday for some ski clinics. The Skate the Lake Pond Hockey Tournament hits the ice at Minnedosa Beach. The Fire on Ice Drift and Race Tour is at Lake Shirley Ski Pond. Hit the Bittersweet Trails in Treeherne for a family ski day and poker rally. The annual Kids Fish Ice Fishing Derby is on in Selkirk Park. And you can find a full list of all the events this weekend on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. Start your Friday primetime lineup with some popcorn and a CTV movie. Recipe for Romance is on at 11, followed by Children Ruin Everything, which comes next at 9. The Big Bang Theory wraps things up at 10. It is all right here tonight on CTV.
That's one pricey cup of joe. How much it'll cost you for the premium brew and why the coffee shop says it's worth the price.
Women's clothing provided by RW and Company. Salon services provided by S&Teak Spa Salon.
-1 right now. Winds out of the south-southeast at 15 kilometers an hour with the wind chill. It feels more like -5. Now, again, we have that fog advisory in effect. Looks like there might be some starting to show up. I want to point this out. 2 degrees, the highest temperature today, not a record. But look at this record low. We only have to go back 5 years. -38.8 degrees. All of a sudden, -8 doesn't seem so bad, does it? Fog possible tonight. Looks like it may already be starting to settle in. Mix of sun and cloud, clouding over a little as we get into the afternoon Saturday. -2 to Sunday, -3 on holiday Monday.
Thanks, Colleen. Finally tonight, we know that coffee has increased in price the last couple of years, but one shop in Massachusetts takes it to another level. It's described as the champagne of coffee. It will cost you $24 US or $32 Canadian for a cup at the George Howell Roastery in Acton, Massachusetts. The company says the coffee comes from an area in Panama known for creating a rare variety of coffee. The roastery has only 40 pounds of this Esmeralda coffee. They insist consuming it is like drinking a fine wine. And I don't know about you, but for those prices, I think I'd rather have the fine wine.
Well, yeah. You're basically paying for it, aren't you? Yes.
Exactly. All right.
Well, there you go.
That's it. That's it.
That's all we have. Yeah. No coffee. Not that coffee.